morning. You probably already know why I am creating this vlog. So I'm going to be sharing with you the requirements I submitted and the things I did in order for me to get a tourist visa. Before we start, I just want to, I hope that you click on like and subscribe to my channel as I'll be discussing more information about getting into Europe and all the other stuff in between. So I am so excited to share this with you guys. So first step that you have to determine is where you're gonna apply for a visa. So for me, I chose Germany because Germany is more convenient for me since I am from Cebu, and I found out that they have a visa facilitation services center where you submit your visa application in Cebu. After checking on where you're gonna be sending your application, of course, you have to make sure that you have your requirements ready before booking an appointment to the center. First, you have to go to vfsglobal.com. I'm gonna share with you the link as to where you're gonna visit, and you have to choose from which country you're from. So let's choose Philippines and then going to Germany, and then you have to do, there will be a guide on what are the requirements there. So first you have to select tourist visa. When you click on the tourist visa, will be routed to a page wherein you have to fill out your information. That includes your name, your date of birth, your passport, of course, and so your passport should be valid 3 months prior to the conclusion of your travel date. So for example, you plan to travel on December, let's say December, make sure that your passport is not going to expire on March. It should be April beyond. And also, it has to have 2 blank pages kasi if your visa gets approved, they will stamp or put a sticker on your passport. So after filling out the form, you have to print it out. Isa pa lang yun sa mga requirements. You still have to submit other requirements in order for you to be able to get your visa. So second, you have to provide 2 copies of your passport size ID photo. Next one is you have to make or create a flight reservation. This is not a guaranteed or confirmed ticket. It's not paid. I can recommend an agency that will help you buy a dummy ticket para isasabit mo sa embassy. And of course, third is the day-to-day itineraries. So for example, you're going to apply for 30 days as a tourist. You have to make sure that you will draft all your itineraries in those 30 days kasi yun ang basihan nila that, oh, you are really traveling as a tourist. So if, for example, on your October 1st to October 10, you're going to be in Berlin, Germany, you have to show the embassy ano ang gagawin mo sa 10 days na yon, and include your hotel booking, saang hotel ka magsistay. Next is you have to submit a hotel reservation. So for those 30 days, kung iba-ibang cities ka pupunta, iba-iba rin ang mga hotels na sustayhan mo. So you have to make a reservation there. What I would highly recommend is booking.com because you can filter the options na hindi ka magbabayad first, and you can just pay at the hotel. And if your visa gets denied, which I hope not, you can also cancel the reservation with free of charge, okay? Next of the requirements is a bit where the challenge comes in, because we have to provide the proof that our funds are sufficient for our trip. So if wala kayong sponsor or if no one is inviting you, you have to submit a proof to the embassy that you can afford your trip. And there are actually several factors in order for you to prove that. It's not just about what is on your savings account. Kasi if maliit lang yung savings account mo, that's not going to be a problem because you can have another source of funds. So first, if you do have a savings account or checking account, that is perfect. Just make sure that you have a regular flow or regular activity on your account. After that, it's your credit card statements. So if you do have a credit card, you have to submit them at least 6 months of your credit card statements and your bank certification as well for your savings or checking account. So if you're an employed individual, you have to submit a copy of your certificate of employment to the embassy. You can also include your ITR and also a leave permission from your employer. In addition, you can also add your payslip, at least 3 months of your payslip for the requirements. On the other hand, if you do have a business, you can also submit with you a copy of your BIR permit a DTI permit, and if it is a small business, you can submit a barangay business permit and also a mayor's permit. So next is you also have to submit a travel insurance. So Joan, where do I get a travel insurance? There's actually a lot of companies offering travel insurance that is accepted by European Union for your Schengen visa application. One of the most famous is AXA. What I use though is not AXA, but it's CareMed. I see that it is cheaper compared to AXA because I applied for 30 days and I only paid for approximately 3,000 pesos, which is a fair price. And it will already cover all the Schengen territories. So if I go to Germany and it will hop to other countries, for example, Switzerland, then my travel insurance is still gonna be covered. At saka, accepted din siya sa German embassy. And if you are a student and someone else is sponsoring you, you also have to submit a proof that you are a student, like the proof of enrollment or proof from your university that they are not objecting your trip. So yun, because it is pandemic, they have added another list of requirements na wala sa checklist, but that is on their website na you are only allowed to travel as a tourist if you are fully vaccinated to their approved vaccine, and luckily I am vaccinated. Also have to submit a copy of that to the embassy. I have submitted this vaccine certificate, vaccine card, along with the yellow card from the Bureau of Quarantine. This is actually recognized by the World Health Organization. So magagamit nyo to whenever you go to Europe and eat on the at the restaurants, because they're gonna require you to be fully vaccinated. An appointment, you just have to reserve a slot and pay for the fee. Some embassies will require you to have a fee for booking an appointment, which is approximately 1,600 to 1,800 pesos. And after that, after blocking an appointment, you have to print it out kasi i-attach mo rin yon because they will be asking for that when you go to the center, so VFS Global Center. So you probably have more questions to ask. So Joan, I already have all my requirements ready. Where do I submit them? Of course, you have to submit it to VFS Global because you have already blocked an appointment, and their office is located on the 5th floor of Kepwell Center. So this is another requirement that I recommend you to also attach on your application, and that is a cover letter. You have to indicate the purpose of your trip. You have to also indicate why you are going to come back to the Philippines, and you have to prove them and convince them. So another requirement that you may submit that will also help you with your application is your travel history. When I say travel history, those are the previous stamps that you have if you have traveled to other countries in the past. For example, I have been to Malaysia and Thailand, so I made a photocopy of those stamps at saka isinabit ko rin yun sa embassy. Oo nga pala, I have to give you more tips para maging stronger yung application nyo. On top of those requirements that I've mentioned, kung meron kayong insurance na binabayaran, you can also submit a proof of that. And if, for example, you have a house, and if you have proof of billings, like you'd have an internet bill under your name or your electric bill is under your name, you can also send them a copy of that. So voila, you are now ready. You have to go to the day of your appointment, and then you have to submit all those requirements. You also have to pay for a visa fee, and that is approximately 80 euros, depends. And then after that, you have to take a biometric. They also would offer you additional services. For example, you want your passport mailed back to you. After a decision has been made, you can have your passport mailed to your address, or you can also pick it up for free. And you can also avail to their message alert services, wherein you will be alerted about the status of your application. And guys, take note, they are not gonna let you know on the text message kung granted ba yung visa mo or denied. It will just come into the mail at doon mo malalaman kung may stamp or wala yung passport mo. So those are pretty much it. Parang natakol ko na lahat. But if in case you do have more questions, don't hesitate to message or comment down below, and I will make a follow-up on that on my next videos. See you again. It's Jonah and I am willing to share with you my trip to Europe.